Jaylee, what's going on? Yeah, you're the first one. How'd your day go? Anything interesting? Why'd you get blocked on Instagram? What'd you do? Because of Ammo's live. What are you doing on Instagram or what? Stone Bud, how are you doing? No, Ammo was talking about him. I don't think I ever saw his channel. I think he got his channels deleted, right? He was telling me about the dude, and then I couldn't look him up because the shit was already deleted. Or were you saying things that they blocked you for that? Really? Lame. Right on. I gotta go shooting before Sunday. I got stuff to sight in for our match on Sunday. X Armory, how are you? Still have about 600 primers for a small rifle, so I'm gonna finish some shells up. I gotta deprime them. Solicitation of sex. I mean, you dirty little boy. That's lame. That's really lame, actually. I haven't decided yet, so my options are this. I can run my MP5 clone. I could shoot my Scorpion. I could shoot one of my race guns. I could shoot the Tactical Sport Orange 2, the Dan Wesson, or my Black Mamba, or my daughter's Purple 22. I haven't exactly decided what I'm shooting yet. It'll be one of them. I was kind of leaning towards that MP5. I bought it in the fall. I haven't got much trigger time on it, so I kind of want to shoot it. But I would like to get classified with rimfire too. So one or the other. Yeah, I shoot my race gun. That's my main gun for competition, so I do shoot that a lot. So my daughter will be shooting this weekend with me. My son won't be, but I bought that Black Mamba, which is very expensive competition gun. Weird. It's a nice gun. It's expensive though. I bought it for competition. I've just never been able to use it. Interesting. I got the PTR 16-inch. All the short stuff is cool. What is going on? All the short stuff is cool, but most of it's not legal for competition. D-Dog, what's going on? Got Steel Challenge this weekend. What do you got going on? No, it's the 9mm. Damn it. Something's going on with my die. Got a piece of brass that's half primed, half out. It doesn't want to deprime the rest of the way. I don't understand. Hold on, I gotta get a flashlight and see what's going on. I don't know what I want to shoot though, D-Dog. 2-gun match on Sunday. You have a trap shoot this weekend? Well, you can if you do the paperwork. But I don't have a SBR MP5, so. Really, I don't know if I want to shoot the Black Mamba or if I want to shoot that MP5. Kind of toss up between the two of them. Some of this rifle brass, it's got a smaller flash hole so that the deprimer die will start to go into it, but then it'll get stuck, which is exactly what just happened here. Stifler, how are you doing? More working. You're not gonna go. Yeah, stone thread. I answered that. Maybe you missed it. It's a 9mm. Mountain Man, what's up? Well, this poses an interesting challenge. There, problem fixed. Yeah, maybe next year you go to that, right? Well, Mountain Man, I think you probably know, but I'm willing to let you earn it back. So if anybody's wondering, we helped Mountain Man get to his 50 subscribers so he could do his live. I went in his live and he's like, hey, I'll make you a moderator. So he made me a moderator. And then doing what moderators do, you had a person come in his chat. So I looked at the channel real quick and it was a real young kid. And so I told him, so you knew, hey man, there's a real young kid in your live. And I had a phone call, so I stepped out. And when I came back, Mountain Man was telling this kid he shouldn't have blocked me. So evidently, this kid was mad because I called him a young kid, and he kicked me out. I saw that, and I mean, and his argument was, I'm not a kid, I'm 13. I'm not a kid, I'm 13. And so I wasn't going to say nothing. I was going to leave it go, and Mountain Man kind of started making a deal out of it. And so I blocked that kid. Figured if I was a moderator, it's a young kid in an 18 only live, and he just booted me out, I booted him out for 24 hours. So Johnny, how are you doing? So Mountain Man, don't take it personally. Yeah, but I'm 13. So I think when I started looking a little bit, I think it's somebody Mountain Man knows. Probably his brother, if I were to guess. If not a brother, maybe a cousin or something. Which is fine, right? No big deal. That's all he would have had to say to start with is, yeah, man, that's my brother, that's my cousin. And I wouldn't have cared, whatever. That's just heads up, just like anybody does for me. I mean, if there's a kid in the chat, let me know it's a kid in the chat, because I'm definitely not going to be talking like I'm talking to a bunch of 18-year-olds, right? But he got a little upset about it. I mean, I'm cool helping people. I'm, cool with all that, but I'm not gonna have a little kid trying to bully me either, So. And Mountain Man, that's really not even so much against you as the little kid. So now you get to tell that kid, hey man, dude took my moderator shit away because of what you did, which is 100% truth. The fact, I'm 47. My youngest kid is 11. The fact that some 13-year-old kid is going to tell me, I'm not a kid, I'm 13. I had another one of them. I have to look at the head stamp on this brass. Give me 1 second, I got to knock this on again. I got a few of them. I'm gonna have more. I think the last time we went shooting rifles, is we had a bunch of rifle brass. There was also a bunch of rifle brass on the ground, so my son picked it up. So he's probably gonna have more of them. Get it, actions have, yeah, they do. So don't get discouraged. Maybe next live we'll bump you back as a moderator again. But like you said, you knew the guy, so you can absolutely tell him. No, you're not flaked, man. That just gives you the opportunity to reach out with the rest of these guys. Yeah, so maybe, I don't even want to say it's childish of me, but I have 2 kids. God damn it. I can't even tell what head stamp that is. It's one I'm not familiar with, so we'll curious to see how many are mixed in here. That's another one, that's what I thought. Usually when I pick up brass and there's other stuff mixed in with mine, when I sort it out, which my kids sorted this stuff, I'll throw all that stuff in another bucket. I won't try to reuse it. But I have 2 kids right now, little motherfuckers. They came in my channels, and they're telling me my content, the stuff I made, is stolen. Okay, that's interesting. I posted that video with my shadow systems. One of these little cocksuckers is in there saying, "You stole this video." Interesting. And so I clicked on their channel this morning, and the little bastard went and stole some of my videos. So that's interesting. Now the funny thing is my channel is copyrighted. So anything I put on my channel is owned by me. It doesn't fall under fair use. It's all on a copyrighted channel. So I gave them legal notification, said, hey, this is unauthorized use of my content. You weren't authorized. Consider this legal notice. You're to remove it immediately. And so I'm giving them a few hours to respond. And just like I've had to do 100 times before, is I'll go on and I'll file a copyright claim against them, and they'll get a strike for the content. And there's 4 videos that they copy or that they stole, so they'll get 4 separate strikes for that. And being like anything, if you get a strike and you get a second strike and you get a third strike, your channel's gone. So their channels will be gone later today. Let me say this, any of you guys that are listening, if you ever want to use one of my videos, you let me know and I'll make it so you can. I'll absolutely give you permission to use it. And if I don't just straight send you the video, I'll definitely unlock it so it can be used. I'm not opposed to that. But these kids went round and round and round with me last night and just wouldn't stop. Like, whatever. I went to bed, and then first thing this morning, my shit was on their channel. So that's nice. And they're little 10, 12-year-old kids, Shed Owl, how are you doing? I see your messages today. I'm just reading, I'm sorry. Yeah, Nix, I agree. I know there's younger people on the chat, like Xbox Boys, he's real young. He's never been disrespectful in any way. So knowing that he's young, I keep an eye on him and his comments. If at any point he ever starts acting like a little kid, I'm going to boot him. But generally speaking, most of the time it's usually better off not having kids. So Barry's bullets, they are softer than a jacketed bullet because they're plated. So they use a soft lead core, and then they use a copper plate, not a jacket. So they tend to be softer, and that's also why they size them to .356 instead of .355, because they'll form to the chamber. You can't push them as fast as a regular jacketed bullet, but you'll generally get pretty decent accuracy out of them. So they are softer, but they're good bullets. So D-Dog, you still here? Let's see if he's still here. Yeah, I agree, man. It pisses me off too. So D-Dog, Sunday Steel Challenge. Should we shoot the MP5 or the Black Mamba or Tactical Sport Orange 2 or my daughter's Purple 22 or the DWX? I'm not sure which one of them I want to shoot. Oh man, it'd be awesome to be a kid again. Knowing what I know now, I'd take over the world. Anthony, how are you doing? DWX. Okay, might do that. I don't have a holster yet for it, but I can start in a low ready position. So. You're 53 this year? That's still young. Damn it. This is gonna get fucking old. Yeah, this is gonna get old. I suppose I could actually look at them when I'm doing this, huh? Versus just sticking them in. I was half assuming there was only going to be a few. But I was assuming, right? So we all know what that means. No, it doesn't fit the tack holster. It's shaped more like a 2011. I need to buy a 2011 holster. When I went with it to the store, it fits like a Prodigy holster. So it's a 2011 style. Check this one. So I just, that's what I thought. The last couple I looked at, the head stamp wasn't real clear, so I can see what the head stamp is. I can't read it, but I can see what it looks like. Well, for 4570, you have to use 4570 government load data. I've never loaded for the government, the trapdoor model. The one I loaded for was a Marlin. Yeah, this can get old. Must be a 300 blackout. Yeah, I wish it would fit that holster. That's part of why I'm waiting until mid-season to switch. I'm hoping to run into somebody else that has one, and then I can ask them what holster they have. Trail Boss is good powder for them slow cartridges. It looks like the flash holes are small in them. Whatever them are. It looks like it says Aquila. I didn't know they made rifle brass. Seems like every time I sit down to do shit, everything goes wrong. Probably Scott. I'm not familiar with the Webley Scott. I wonder if I just power through this, if I can push them out. Looks like there's a whole bunch of them. I'm fairly certain that's not brass that I shot, so that's something the kids picked up. So DWX, huh? I don't dislike that idea at all. Is a revolver with a 16-inch barrel. So even if it has a 16-inch barrel, it's got to meet the minimum requirements for a firearm. Off the top of my head, I can't remember if it's 26 inches or 28 inches. So even with a 16-inch barrel, if it's under, I think it's 26 inches, it would still be classified as a handgun because it doesn't meet the firearm requirements. In order to be considered a rifle, it's got to be over 26 inches or 28 inches. And that's when you can put a buttstock on there. There's weird legalities with all that. So you'll see sometimes people running these AR pistols with no buttstock, but they have a foregrip. That's because it meets the requirements of a firearm, and because it's over that or at that distance, it's not considered a handgun anymore. So they can have a front vertical grip, but because it's shorter than a 16-inch barrel, if it were shorter than a 16-inch barrel, 26 inches, then you can't have the buttstock. There's really weird legalities. Pretty much, if it's, yeah, every fucking one of them is going to be like that. God damn it. I wanna shoot it in USPSA too. So I will. I gotta get through my ammunition I have first for the checkmate, because I'm pretty sure I won't go back once I switch. I don't know what a night runner is. So the only thing I've formed is 300 black oak brass. I've done a little bit of it, not much. So if you're going to a straight wall cartridge case, it's a lot easier than going to a, fuck is that? What, 30-30? Going to a straight wall pistol case. Anytime you start necking down, you really need to anneal the brass. So any of them that we cut and then necked down, they went okay. We had a few right away that would crack here and there, but I never annealed them. So when I tried to reload that brass, 90% of them would crack. And I don't have one of the annealers. If that 300 blackout was something I was serious about, I would probably buy one, because they're not real expensive. I mean, obviously people have necked cartridges down for years. One interesting thing is I've taken 7 MMO8 brass, and I've went the opposite way with it. I went to 30 cal. So you go from that 7mm bullet back to a 30 cal bullet. I've done that quite a bit. usually by accident, but the only real difference between the two is the bullet diameter. And once you size them, everything else is put back to 308 spec. So well, Terrence, I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I'm not sure I like it either. So we'll see you down the road. Bye. Ammo, what's going on? Ammo, I got some little kids stealing my videos. It's good to be a role model, I guess. You're driving? Well, pay attention to the road. You going to a service call? I wonder once. Maybe that's the process. I'll just hand deprime them on here, then size them, I guess. Because that's a whole lot of brass I'm throwing away. My deprimer must be a little fatter. So, yeah, this one's definitely smaller. Going to Amazon. Any of you guys watching, if I'm missing your comments, man, ask it again. I'm sorry. I definitely never ignore anybody on purpose. Man, it's like 75 degrees outside right now. I came home and I took the dog for a walk, and halfway through the walk, I'm like, God damn, it's hot. And he came home, well, obviously the dog with me, and he went and laid in front of a box fan I have, which I actually have that out there for the two dogs. They like it. About our berries discussion. Yeah, Ammo, you don't like berries? I've had pretty decent luck with them. Also, too, it's worth mentioning that you can use jacketed load data for it, but you have to back it off at least 10%, and usually it's to keep the velocity down. But in like Richard Lee, they have data specific to plated bullets, and the only difference I ever see in them is they use slower powders than 45. I've had good luck with the 230 grain and the 200 grain berries. I've never shot any of their rifle bullets, but okay.
Yeah.
How's school?
Good. Oh, you're on the live. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, we're on a live.
Like every day you call me.
Yukon Bob, what's going on? So, let's That's all I was gonna tell you.
Okay.
Let the dogs out.
Yeah.
I already walked Leroy.
No, you did.
You want to take him again? Feel free to take him again.
Okay.
The dogs are out on the corner down there, so you may not want to go that way.
Yeah.
She's gonna shoot this weekend. Harley, what are you gonna shoot this weekend?
I'm gonna shoot my 1522.
My 1522. Now ask her, since you're all here, Harley, why won't you shoot your pistol? I spent good money on that. Why won't you shoot it?
I don't know. Is it like rifles better?
Like rifles better?
Yeah. Is that a new priming thing?
62 grain.
Is that a new priming thing?
No, these primers or these cartridges you guys must have picked up, and I didn't know that when we cleaned them, or shit your brother shot. My depriming nipple is a little large for the flash holes, and I started sorting them out, but like almost every one I picked up was that same style, so
I didn't pick them.
I wonder once.
Okay, I'm gonna go upstairs and use the bathroom.
Alright, well good luck with that.
Yeah. Who's all on? Orange smoke?
No, he's at work.
Oh.
So we got ammo, we got sheds, we got Yukon Bob. Yeah, so I won't even be able to use the fuck. That complicates shit.
Okay, I'm going upstairs.
Alright.
I gotta use the bathroom and then bye.
Picked up a Glock 20 10mm and a Glock 22 TCMM. The Glock 22, that's 40 cal though, isn't it? I missed the first part of your comment there. Next. Is that one you have on your channel? Is that one you're talking about? Refresh my memory. I know I was on your channel yesterday or the day before. Maybe we'll try a different dye. Only CZ I've had to actually put any money into it to get it where I wanted it was my SPO1. Yeah, so this dye will work. Both Hornady dyes, just a different style. I'm not a fan of this one because it likes to come loose. So I have a brand new one here to replace it, and actually I'm sorry, this one's an RCBS dye, but the decapper and that one's a little smaller. I appreciate it, Jake. Oh, the Scorpion? Man, I love the Scorpion. Only thing I've changed on mine, I know you're replying to him, but I'll talk about mine. I changed the trigger in it. I put a Tinmy trigger in it. And then I changed the pistol grip to it, to a HB Defense. And then I changed the recoil spring to a plus 125% spring for Escalon. That was the greatest thing I did to the Scorpion ever. It smoothed the gun out. It's just real nice little tick tick. What do you mean to the micrometer? That's a Starrett. This is actually one out of my toolbox. This is one I bought when I was in school for machining. have another one down here somewhere, but my I guess we don't need to throw all these away. My oldest broke it, so that's the one out of my shop. Look up, stare it. Ah, it still ain't gonna work. Try another one. Nope. I thought it was gonna work. It's alright. We'll go back to what I was gonna do. We'll just hand prime them, then run them through the sizer. The Scorpions, they do have issues with them with the binary triggers. I have seen some that blowing up from out of battery detonations, just like you're saying. So that's a concern. I bulged my barrel on mine. I had some light loads, pistol loads that we were burning up, and I ran them through there, and about 3/4 down the barrel, maybe 80% down the barrel, one of them must have ran out of steam, and I sent another round. The gun still shoots. I do have a barrel here. I don't know, I haven't changed it. Maybe we should do that on live. It's a pain in the ass because you gotta get the handguard off, which isn't too bad, but then you have to split the receiver, and just like a motor, once you split it, it's never quite the same. So I've been hesitant to do it. But it went from just a clover leaf at 25 yards to now it shoots consistently about a 2-inch group at 25 yards. So yeah. Yeah, Mitioto is good too. Just stare it. Suppose I can actually say it correctly. Starrett. They're not cheap, but it's a tool you need. A lot of people buy the cheap ones with the digital readouts. Digital readouts are a lot like pistols and shit with dots. I can use it the way they're supposed to be used. But the good thing is that breast, maybe it's crimped. Kind of looks like it could be, but if it is, it's not a great crimp. What sucks? Oh, the digital ones? You know, like everything, you kind of get what you pay for, but for reloading, it'll get you close enough. You don't have to go spend a couple $100. If you want to spend a couple $100, go get a massage, treat yourself. No, I haven't tried it. I don't know if anybody else has. They can answer. Bolt for the firearm pin, if I remember correctly. Almost got a IWI Galil. I don't know though. So it was I got OG. You don't like people touching you? You just haven't had the right people touching you. That's the ticket, though. If you're having back problems, go get a good massage. So everybody has a different idea what shit hits the fan means. I think realistically, if you got a shotgun and you put in the caliber conversions into the chamber, you could get away with not having a pistol or a 22. I think they have for 308. I would say that more, in my opinion, that more closely would relate to maybe 5 guns people should own. I would probably throw one in there too as a 22 caliber pistol. But them are definitely the most common guns. There's nothing wrong with being prepared. I like it when you look up at me. Good stuff. Good stuff. When Ammo posts his shorts, a lot of times I'll go in there and tell him it makes me stiff or it makes me wet. I have a Volkorster and I have a Black Mamba. Yeah, they're definitely pricey though. If you've never seen it, it's on the channel. That's one of the guns I was suggesting to shoot this Sunday. I've had it now for a little over a year. And I bought it for Steel Challenge. And the only time I've taken it out for a Steel Challenge match, halfway through the match, my daughter decided she wanted to use it. So I've never even competed with it through a whole match. But I do like it. It's a nice shooting gun. A lot of the stuff I tend to buy, I always convince myself that I'm going to use it for one type of a division or another, or one type of match or another. And most times I'll shoot 1 or 2 matches with it, and then I move on to something else. So I bought that PTR in the fall for my daughter to shoot, but she's still not strong enough to be able to rack the action. So for Steel Challenge, you lose all the brass. I don't want to lose 200, 225 pieces of brass, 250 maybe. So I'm not going to shoot that. That's just me being cheap. What's going on? Not a sponsor. How are you doing? John Wicks, how are you doing? Cool Gamer, what's going on? How are you doing? I'm good, man. I still have about 600 pieces of rifle brass, or primers, so we'll work on finishing these up. And then with what I've loaded the last couple weeks here, with most of you guys sitting here with me, that'll be at least a couple months worth of shooting for us for the ARs. I gotta work with my daughter. I want her to start being able to shoot an AR so she can shoot them PCSL matches, but she doesn't want to yet. Okay, John, I'm not sure what all that means. You're gonna have to give me a little more context. What do you mean pulling an all-nighter? Are you installing shit, or are you working at home? If you're gonna work at home, you might as well pop up a camera and do a live. So ammo, I should show you this if you're still here, or anybody interested. This is a Frankfurt Arsenal handy primer. It's a universal deprimer. What I usually use this for is when I have cartridges that, for whatever reason, don't pass. Maybe they don't pass the case gauge or whatever. We'll pull them apart. I never save powder when I pull a cartridge apart, but primers are expensive, and this catches the primers. So when I have to pull a cartridge apart, I'll take the projectile and I'll save the primers. So that's actually what I bought this for. But situation like this, I can hand deprime these and run them through just the size and die, not deprime on it. So there's a lot of this brass here. I'm not even sure where it came from, but it was clean, so I saw a bucket of clean brass. Figured I'd use it. I'm tracking now. Couple hours I'll go up and I'll put together the gun table and we'll do a live for a few hours. Not sure what you mean by a function auto mag. Jesus Christ, how are you doing? How'd your day go? Saw your video, Jesus Christ, with all the YouTube guys. Did a good job on that. It's like a 22 Magnum. Shadow World, have you ever heard of a 22 Auto Mag? That's, or anybody, I guess, for that matter. I've never heard of that cartridge. Is it a center fire or is it a rim fire? Yeah, I haven't heard of that. Synopsis. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Is it a center fire or is it a rim fire? It's chambered in 22 Magnum. Who makes it? AMT. Went bankrupt in the 90s. Interesting. Do you post content? Do you have anything with it? If you do post content, go to my shorts and leave me a comment. I'll find your channel and I'll check it out. Loud and spits huge fireballs. Well, that tends to make things more fun. I don't do anything with Reddit. So ammo, when's your next match? Have you found one go-to yet? .22 mag. Yeah, 44s are known for big flashes. In handgun anyway, that 44 Magnum Rossi I have, that thing doesn't throw much of a flash at all. Orange Smoke had Mexican food the other night, and I'm pretty sure he had fireballs too. Talked to him periodically through the night, and he was in the bathroom for most of it. I wouldn't say it's inappropriate. I think on my 1022 it's like a 1 to 12 power. It's nice because you can see your holes. So I don't think it would be something you'd use for hunting, but for target shooting it'd be okay. Yep, I got lots of 22s actually. .22 we shoot the most is my 15-22. That's had quite a bit of work to it. My daughter shoots that. It's like one of her favorite guns. I keep thinking I should just buy her own, but if I was selling them, we definitely wouldn't be discussing it on YouTube Live. But no, I don't sell firearms. So I didn't see answer, not a sponsor. You have to do install work, or you just have to work from home all night? How many what? How many 22s? If I were to guess, probably around 20. 1, 2. Yeah, it'd be around 20. Plus or minus a couple just off the top of my head. Computer work. You gonna do a live? Go live while you work? Am I loading the gun? No, I'm depriming brass, hand depriming. A second here when I get these hand deprimed, I'm gonna lube them and I'm gonna size them. So I am working on ammunition, if that better relates to your question. Yeah, like I said, I'll be on later. I'll do the gun table. I'm to the mindset where I'm gonna just sit here and work on ammunition. I can do it on a live. That way, if people have questions about it, I can explain it, or at least try to explain it. There's questions like loading for that government model 4570. I've never loaded for it, so I can't really give you an answer. But you have a good day. Yeah. 1022s are usually worth hanging on to, especially where the price of them has gone up. I have one that I built years ago. I put a Adams and Bennett barrel on it. A little Corstron trigger and Hogue stock and all them goodies. And I have one that I refinished when I had my shop. I actually gave that to my oldest. It's still here though. And then I have one I bought from a pawn shop that I bought a crank-off side folding AK type conversion stock for, or setup for it. Full Corstron this time. I shouldn't be muted. Am I still muted? There's a phone call coming through. Go down. Yeah, somebody was trying to call. I don't recognize the number, so I'm gonna guess that it was somebody about my car warranty, or to tell me that I could already be a winner. You know, there's actually a way, and there's kits available that you can reset your primers too. I've looked at it just for curiosity, but you actually pull the primer apart, you take a little punch and you knock the dent out of it, refill it with a compound, and put the anvil back in. Tiffany, you already asked that question. I told you no. Was depriming brass. Now I'm gonna size some brass. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. There it goes. I'm gonna guess, like, that person there's just trolling. It's probably some fucking bleeding heart liberal that is just sitting there coming all over themselves, waiting to be able to submit a report. Oh yeah, still under factory warranty for sure. So ammo, is ammo even still here? I'll explain his chronograph to him if he is. If he's not still here, I'll talk a bunch of trash about him. Actually, I wouldn't talk trash about him. I actually like that guy. He's pretty cool. Yeah, was it 2 weeks ago? After we shot a pistol match, my son wanted to play with some rifles, so I was doing a live. I was going to let him shoot, and I was going to walk through the range and show people the range, all the pistol bays, and explain some of the stuff to people. And as soon as gunshots were in the background, they shut that down immediately. Fucked up thing is then I appealed it, and they said, yeah, we made a mistake, blah, 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 because they struck it for handling a firearm. And obviously there was no firearm handling going on. Or at least what they saw. And they reversed the appeal, said, yep, we were wrong, blah, 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 blah. Your channel's not going to have any consequences. We made a mistake. We posted your video. But I was still grounded for 24 hours. So that was pretty fucking gay. I understand, you know, some dude does some stupid shit and it ruins it for everybody, so to some extent I can understand. But it's kind of lame. It'd be way cooler to be able to handle firearms and show people what we're talking about. And Ammo was telling me they can do that on Instagram, but I'm not on Instagram, so. I see something like that every time Pornhub opens up. You report Ammo all the time. Somebody reports them. I actually feel bad because it's bogus as hell. You know, the bogus part is there's actual channels that are gun shops and they show a daily inventory. Another channel is a gun shop, he does a weekly inventory, and that's all okay. But I truly believe that if Ammo keeps shooting pistol matches or rifle matches or whatever he can find, that will help because it changes his content. When you size brass, so obviously when you fire a brass cartridge, it expands to the chamber dimensions and it also stretches. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just bringing it back into spec and it pushes the neck back. You have to lube cartridge cases when you size them. There's a bunch of ways to do that. I have some Hornady shit that you just put a little on your fingers. Every once in a while you dip your fingers in and you kind of rub the brass, and that keeps it from getting stuck in the case and the resizing die. And it makes it a lot easier to resize them. They resize real easy. I'll be honest, he did pretty good. You know, when you watch stuff on YouTube, everybody's always thinks they can go faster, they're better. And I'll tell you what, you show up to a pistol match, you will be humbled very, very quickly. Because it's not as easy as people think it is. Considering that was his first match, I think he actually did pretty decent. He didn't get disqualified, he completed the match. I only saw, I think, 1 or 2 malfunctions, if I saw correctly. I didn't know you could play with fireworks on a live. And define playing with, like, can we blow shit up? Yeah, he did good on the Texas Star. I've never had the opportunity to shoot the Fallen Steel matches. That's one thing you don't find around here. Primarily everything is either USPSA or PCSL, IDPA, or Steel Challenge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's probably some type of shooting like that in Australia. Because I know at Nationals we've had people from overseas come shooting. I know there was a team from Australia. Yeah, that would probably knock all the steel down. You did a Texas Star with a 12 gauge. The slugs are buckshot. Usually they won't let you shoot slugs at steel, because they damage it. Same reason you can't shoot rifle at steel. Usually within 100 yards, as you'll start to damage it. Yeah, I would suspect if somebody saw you, they wouldn't invite you back. Didn't you say you found some matches by you too? What are them? When is that? If they didn't tell you what you need for a round count, plan on about 225 rounds. Missed a Fox shotgun last week. My daughter likes Steel Challenge a lot more than I do. But for me, there's advantages to it. I mean, you're shooting out on some of the steel. Steel Challenge has a set course. So they have, I think it's, 6 or 7 set stages. They never change. And a lot of times matches will throw in some fun stages. J-Dog, I appreciate it, man. You're solid as hell. But it's a discipline. It's not hard to hit the steel, but it is hard to hit the steel fast. My middle son, first year he shot Steel Challenge. That was all he wanted to do, just like my daughter. But after I got him out in USPSA, now he doesn't want to shoot Steel Challenge anymore. It's a lot more fun to be able to run around and shoot like that. But yeah, J-Dog, I really appreciate you, man. 4 to 5 stages every Wednesday afternoon. What's today? Today's Wednesday, right? You know, I share most of my match footage. with Steel Challenge, every stage, you shoot five strings on there. There's 5 steel plates, 4 steel, 1 stop plate. Doesn't matter what order you shoot them in, but you have to shoot the stop place last. And they keep 4 of your best, out of the 5 strings, they keep your 4 best. So either they're not shooting 5 strings or it's just a reduced size match, which is still okay. You'd still have a lot of fun with it. Take your son, get him set up with a 10-22 and a red dot. He would do great with that. Yeah. People like to see that. Maybe at some point here I'll use some YouTube money if I keep getting it and buy one. But them Insta Pro 360s, they're like $400 or $500. I like to spend money, just not this time of year. Figure we shoot on average 3 weekends a month. And now with my daughter shooting, I'm sponsoring 3 shooters. So I provide all the money for the match fees. I provide the ammunition, the firearms, the fuel, the food. So until I get closer to the season, I just try to budget myself. We won't be shooting any big matches this year, which is, I could, but then I wouldn't be able to let my daughter shoot all year. So we'll skip the big matches, we'll shoot all the local matches. Which will be good because then she'll be more used to her gun. No, well you can, right? So sectional matches and sectional matches, area matches, nationals. Sometimes they'll do cash prizes, but the local club match stuff, that's just for bragging rights. There's side matches sometimes they'll hold, and usually for them you win cash. But the local match, that's just bragging rights. Order me one too. Match footage is hard. Sometimes you get people that want to watch it, sometimes not. The Instapro footage is nice, but make sure you have somebody record you too to be able to see the stage. That helps. So I had GoPros I used to use, but they are no longer with us. They are not survivors. It's my bad. I thought they were far enough away, but they weren't. Yeah, they didn't survive. That was disappointing. So did Utah Dad get monetized? Is that what I saw? Yeah, it's not even that they're bulletproof, they're not explosion proof. So is he fully monetized, or is he partially monetized where you can sell like the super things and stuff? Super chat, yeah. Yeah, that one's not too horrible to get the requirements for that. Well, good for him though. That's nice to be able to get some recognition and get rewarded. It's nice when people choose to spend their time with you that they reward that. I should have went and fired up the bikes and went for a ride. That's what I should have done. It's nice out. We had a bunch of rain all week. It's supposed to be raining all day today. That's why I didn't go shooting. But, I mean, it poured and poured and poured this morning. I think we got a couple inches of rain in like the last 24 hours. Yeah, it takes a few days for your first, well, it takes a few days for all of it. All my requirements are met. All my paperwork is in and accepted. And I just have to sit here the next hurdle I have because they gave me that strike. I gotta let that expire. As soon as that expires, then they'll start selling ad space. Obviously on shorts and lives you're not gonna make anything, so we have some videos. As soon as that strike expires, there'll be videos getting posted, long form content. On April 1st, the only strike I had expired. On April 2nd, they stuck me on another one. So, things that I will do between now and then is I won't show a lot of footage with my daughter, as I usually get a strike for that stuff. I can usually win it. If it's clear that, like, if we're just shooting to shoot, they'll stand on it. But if we're shooting in a match, I can usually win it. Usually. So I posted some footage of her. Anything I'll be posting of her will be from the back. You won't be able to see the side of her face. And that keeps it from triggering the YouTube AI. I'll keep doing lives to make sure my hours stay up, so that as soon as that strike expires, there's no reason for them to play games. It doesn't take a month for review, and it takes a couple days. Yeah, it just takes a couple days. You have to submit your verification, the driver's license, passport photo or whatever, and then you submit your tax paperwork and the account you want to be paid into. But that should only take a couple days. Yeah, I think not a sponsor is a lot more north of you. So did any of you other guys try any of that grease like I've been telling you? Any of that Shooter's Choice? I was just curious if anybody else did. It's one of them products that once you switch to it, you wish you'd done it sooner. When I get done with these, I'll measure them for overall case length. The ones I have to trim, I'll separate. For just plinking ammo, if I don't have to trim it, I usually don't. Having to trim them and then chamfer them takes a lot of time. This is already taking longer than it should because of the flash holes. That's okay. Half the time my basement floor looks like a fucking range. There's brass all over it. Keep in mind, any of you guys too, that you don't maybe save your brass for no other reason, take it and save it. It's valuable. Doesn't take long to fill up a bucket. You cash out, make a little bit of money off your ammunition. But the other thing would be, you never know. Someday you might decide to start reloading, and brass is one of the most expensive components you're going to buy. So is there anything particular you want to see on that table tonight? Otherwise I'll probably throw all pistols on there. Low average dad. So your channel is monetized now? I think the last one I had all revolvers, didn't I? Second to last one. But yeah, is your channel all monetized now? Is it fully monetized, or is it just partially monetized? It shouldn't take a month. It usually takes a couple of days. That's it. Are you asking me? I mean, we can call them a Nerf gun if you want. It's one thing I don't have a lot of. I don't own a lot of revolvers. I used to have more, and I just don't anymore. That will be something going forward that I'll be collecting again. Halfway. So you got the super chats and the super thanks. Yeah, that should only take a couple days. Even to go to the full monetization, within 3 days I had my notification that everything was accepted. That's exciting. Congratulations. That's a milestone. Oh, it's X shot. Not sure what you mean by X shot. What's up, John? How are you doing? Oh, you don't have any? I saw that that grass dragster your buddy has. I left you a comment on that earlier. It's a pretty badass truck. It's a pretty badass buggy too. I don't know what you'd even call that, but buggy. Gun, how are you? So as it gets warmer, I spend less and less and less time out here. Hey Mike, I was actually hoping you would jump in here. So I saw your live earlier. I tried to comment on it, but I think you still have me hidden on your channel, which is okay. It's okay. I just know that I'm not able to comment. I watched it, but I'm not able to comment. What chambering are my ARs? I have a 300 blackout. I have one that's specific 223 only. I have a bunch that are 223 wild. I have a couple that are 5.56. I have one that's a 308. So that would be an AR-10. Yeah, I'm well, where the ducking is here, it's low. But that half of the basement I can stand up in, but I try to remember to duck because otherwise I hit my head. So, old house. It is going to give out. I have a bunch of plates to put on. I just haven't time. Just like you, there's never enough time to do everything you need to do, ever. Someone left J-Dog's crate open. I need a better one. I need to build another bench like I have for the Dylan. I have everything here. I just time. I'm not one to be cold, so I don't like being in the garage in the winter. But I have shelves out there I got to rebuild because I stripped all mine out. I got metal shelving I started putting up in there. But it got cold and I don't like being cold. I don't like having to push the bikes outside. Yeah. Don't even sweat it, Mike. I understand why that was the way it was. No, today is warm. I think it was like 68 or something outside. I actually opened all the windows up. I took the dog for a walk. No, I think that's a long story. You saw snow for the first time. Yeah, man, 68 is warm for us. I mean, another few weeks here, it'll be hot as fuck. But I mean, yesterday was like 42 degrees. 68 degrees right now. If I drove through the college, there would be a bunch of chicks out sunbathing. Which, that'd be kind of pervertish to take a ride just to show you. $69, yeah. Moved from South Florida to northern Arizona, January. Arizona has mountains in it though, right? A few miles from Utah. Yeah. How cold does it get in the winter? 420. Chanson, what's going on? How are you doing? I have a CDL, so there's no 420 time for me. Do I? know? Like I just said, I have a CDL, so I get federal drug tested randomly. And randomly means every couple months. So there's no, well, I only get tested once a year. I'm good for a year. No, I get tested a lot. What kind of car does she drive? Mid-60s, 40s at night. That's about perfect. Yeah. Well, the thing is too, right? So if you just have a commercial driver's license and you're driving a semi or a bus or whatever, and you get in an accident, even if it's your fault, it's not a big deal. If I get in an accident and it's my fault, I can get prosecuted for destruction of government property. So everything I test is already bought and sold to the Department of Defense. So that's an even bigger reason to make sure you're good. Yeah. It's amazing how many people in different trades, it's like you're saying, is almost expected that you're geeked and tweaked. I don't drink at all. I haven't drank in over 25 years. I don't drink, I don't use drugs, and I don't smoke or chew or any of that. Right, Miss Harley? I said, right, Miss Harley?
What?
No drinking for me.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna make some ramen.
Okay. So,
How's your life going?
it's going alright. You say hi if you want.
Hi again.
Yep, just Pepsi. That's it's the only thing I do. That's why I'm able to buy toys, right? You look at people that you know that smoke and drink and use drugs, and then look at what they own. I like to have something to show for my hard work. Quitting smoking. You're designated drunker. Designated drunker. Did I read that right? Or is designated drinker? Why would you be single? Why I said it that way. I know what it is, but as far as any of the ballistics or load or any of that, I have no experience with that. I know it's powerful enough to unalive a president. No, not so much anymore. What's up, Fubar? I used to shoot a lot of 3-gun, and that was with shotgun. A lot of the 3-gun stopped because you couldn't get ammunition, and nobody's really picked it up again. Just like the 2-gun competitions, they pretty well stopped, and now this year there's a bunch of them on the calendar in different clubs. So I will be shooting that again. But 3-gun used to be a lot of fun. That's what I bought my Sega 12 for. It's kind of a cheater's gun. It puts you in open division. But there was no restriction on magazines, so I would either run drums on big stages, or I have 12 round Surefire mags I'd run. Reloading the magazine is a whole lot faster than charging the tube. So before that I always shot my Benelli, but I bought and built that Sega 12 for that. I'm not sure. Not sure what rifle you're talking about. A Sega 12 is a shotgun. Oh, the 6.5. Okay. Yeah, I was just behind you for a second. Yeah, I've never fired one either, so I have, like I said, I know what it is, but I have no experience with it. I agree. That's why when you guys hear me talk about John's arsenal, I always say he's got a living museum grade collection. He truly does. What he's accomplished there is a small feat. I mean, a lot of sacrifices go into that. Yeah. I hear you on the 308 cartridge too. That's the caliber I really enjoy shooting. I have the AR-10 that I haven't shot much. But I have a couple couple 308 bolt guns. Then I have my M1A. I have that L1A1 also. Yeah, everything just takes time. Firearms don't get cheaper as time goes on. But the way they're trying to ban shit too, it's always a good idea if you really want something to go ahead and get it versus sacrificing. You may not be able to get it later. I saw this daily FE has a collection. John's arsenal's got probably a nicer collection than me. He's got some really nice stuff. Dale, how are you doing? You know, you might look at like John's arsenal stuff as some of it's old, and it is. Maybe outdated. Some of it is. Like he was showing some of his Ruger pistols and I think a Buckmark or something in there, and they have old optics on there. And you might look at it and be like, oh, why would he have something like that? You know, it's ancient, but that was what he had when he put it together. Some of my stuff, you know, I show my first 3-gun rifles or whatever, and people are like, oh man, it is outdated. You know, the system keeps moving, technology keeps changing, but to see a person's life work is impressive. Yeah, he's definitely probably fill up a football field. Yeah. I don't skip too many lunches. I enjoy good stuff. But no, I make sacrifices. You have to, you know. I try to stay out of stores. Like I don't go grocery shopping. If I have to order something, I order it offline. That keeps me from doing any impulse buying of anything. Not smoking, not drinking, not using dope is a huge thing. When you cut them things out of your life, I mean, that frees up thousands of dollars. And, you know, it may not seem like it that much over like a 1 week period or a month, but that $25 or that $100 that you're spending on cigarettes or whatever else, you could go to a gun store and you could put that on a firearm, right? So yeah, they do. That's the thing. Nothing ever really loses value with firearms. Oh, that's awesome. Flat tire. Good way to start your night. Carry a 38 special. Combat Master. I'm trying not to miss any of your guys' comments. I apologize if I do. Yeah, it does. Harley, how are you doing? Hey, Harley! You're not commenting on my live, are you? Are you commenting on my live? Are you commenting on it?
No.
Oh. Well, hi, Harley. That's my daughter's name, too.
No. No.
I was curious because somebody named Harley said hi.
Oh, hi.
Well, they were saying hi, their name was Harley.
Oh, nice. We have the same name. That's crazy. I've never actually met somebody with the same name.
No?
Even on YouTube.
What's the dog barking at?
That's one right now. Google.
I think that was part of why I never got into any of that stuff was I've always been into firearms, motorcycles. So I just always broker wanting something that way. I hope it's a good thing because hopefully then your kids don't do it. If they don't see mom and dad doing that stuff, then hopefully they don't do it. Yeah, it's definitely harder. Nothing gets cheaper, ever. If you're in a state, number one, if it were legal federally, if it were legal federally, I would probably use it. Because it's not legal federally, I can't use it. But if it were also legal federally, that would mean you could grow your own. I would absolutely do that. So to pay somebody for shit, yeah, that'd be pretty out there. But all right, Robert, you have a good day. Enjoy your grill. check that out. You know, stuff like, I have that Mac 11, and I don't know what you paid for yours, John, but for mine, I paid, it was like $200. I was looking at them on Gunbroker the other night, and they're up to like $1,200. Most guns, all mil-cert firearms will gain value at a pretty steadily rate. Can't have a CDL if you're smoking dope. It's illegal on a federal level. And as far as your concealed carry permit, smoking dope isn't legal on a federal level. So if they catch you smoking dope, they can revoke your rights that way. Not worth it. I have a good job, so the last thing I would ever do would be jeopardize that. I wouldn't want to come home and look at my wife and kids and be like, well, I was smoking some bongers with a friend of mine, and today at work they decided to give me my random test and I didn't pass. That would make things seriously complicated for a long time. But don't get me wrong, like I said, if I could, if legally I could, I probably would, but I would just grow my own. That'd be kind of a cool little garden to have. Yeah, I don't know. I know there's been some debate going on, and I've seen different articles, but federal law supersedes state law. So if it's illegal on a federal level, even if a state allows it, the feds can still hold you accountable. There was a time when even AR-15s would gain value. Now they don't really gain any value. You know, 15, 20 years ago, depending on what you had, if you had a good one, you would gain value. And even now, like, if you bought a LWRC, if you bought one of the Knights Armament, some of these other ones, and I'm not going to sit and try to rattle them all off, they'll gain value, even the early Colts. But if you buy a BCM, Daniel Defense, or definitely any of the cheaper stuff, you know, Palmetto State or Radical, Bear Creek, that stuff you're never ever going to gain value on, ever. Yeah, that's kind of what I was hinting at, is it's still illegal on a federal level. So on your 4473, when it asks you if you are an unlawful user and or addicted to stimulants, blah, 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 if you're using marijuana, even on a state level where it's legal, you have to check yes. And if you check no, you're committing a crime. So, again, keep in mind, I have nothing against people using it at all. If I could, if it were legal, I probably would. But I've been at my job over 20 years, and it's a good job. So I'm not in a hurry to fuck that up. Yeah, feds do, because it's still legal on a federal level. It's probably even more than that. All right, Mike, you have a good night, man. I'll catch you another time. If you guys haven't checked out Mike's channel, I know he's trying to build his hours up too. realistically, I wish that they would just get over it. And there's a lot of drugs that could have benefits. Marijuana, that could absolutely have, and does have some, good health benefits. Oh, rubbish, you did it. I'm sorry, man. I saw that a little while ago and I overlooked it. I'm not real familiar with the gate lock suppressors. Is that the attachment? How it connects to the barrel? I appreciate you asking the question again, because I did see it, but I missed it. I started talking about something else. I apologize, sir. But I know, clinically speaking, MDMA works good for people with trauma, people with PTSD. Same with microdosing of LSD. I know that works real good for people who suffer from PTSD. Them things would be nice for that end of it to be legal. And you're not talking the doses where people are actually having a good time partying, but it helps them through some stuff. I know even things like mushrooms, they help chronic headache sufferers. There's therapeutic benefits there. But again, it's all microdosing, so not party dosing, but microdosing. So all them things, if conventional medicine isn't working for somebody and there's something out there that will, then people should have access to that. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't have any experience with that. So what's your experience with it? Is that the wife for the kid? Hey, Harley! Is that your mom or is it Che? Alright.
What did you say though?
I was asking if it was your mom or if it was Che. I'm assuming cannabis, right? I think the only reason it's not legal yet on a federal level is because of the profit that pharmaceutical companies make off of their shit. Think about it, if like, for instance, exactly that, if you could grow it at home, you wouldn't even be buying it in the store, you just grow your own medicine. And that's not what pharmaceutical companies want. And being they're the biggest lobbyist funders, they're not going to do that. And then on the taxation front too, government's cool if they legalize it and you go buy it from a store and they're making their cut on it. But like I said, would you go buy it from a store? I wouldn't. I have a backyard. I have room in my house, If I were going to use it, I'd grow my own. I mean, maybe because I'm just a punishment for DIY stuff. But if I have the capability to do it or capability to learn, then that's what I would do. Diesel Brothers, not really reloading. I was depriming and sizing brass. Now I measured it to see what has to be trimmed and what doesn't. Now I'm going to spend the tedious process of wiping off the lube. And prime them, then load them. So yes, I'm reloading, but just doing processing more than actual loading at the moment. what you're getting. I used to spend $200 a week at dispensaries. It's a lot of money. See, but I don't think there's anything, maybe, I don't know, maybe some of the ways you can get it, you know, making like the gummies, or where they make the oils and stuff, maybe that's something more than a person would be able to do at home. But you know, if you grew your own, you could make your own butter, so you could make cookies or brownies, or put it in anything, right? Infuse it. So that lube I use on these when I size them, I wipe it off, and then when I'm actually done loading them, I'll run them in the tumbler for about a half hour just to get the rest of it off. I have two that I like. So I use RCBS case lube, and that's that you use with the pad. You put a lot of pad, roll the brass on it. It's really good stuff. But the latest thing I've been using a lot of is the Hornady One Shot. It's just faster to apply. I don't have to put it on a pad, roll them. I just put a little on my fingers. I wipe the case, put my cartridges in the press. Either one you have to wipe off at the end. So there's no real time savings between them, but this is just a little easier. Honestly, since I bought that One Shot, I don't think I've used any of the RCBS stuff. $20 gummies a day. Yeah, that Hornady stuff is good. When I run out, I'll buy more. I don't dislike the product at all. Obviously, your brass is a little stickier with it, but it's still not a big deal. No, you're gonna get brass stuck in your dies with that for sure, and it's a pain in the dick when you get a stuck case in your die. That's a whole process in itself. They do have aerosol case lubricant. I have a Lyman bottle here. I've tried it. You can probably hear how full the can is. Every time I've tried it, I've gotten stuck brass. So I know some people like this stuff, and that's great, but I don't. I load 38 357, 44 Magnum, 223 556, 762 by 39 on a like rare occasion, 308, 300 short mag, 9mm 40, 10mm. Trying to think what else. Oh, I got some 8mm dies. I haven't loaded that in years, so I don't have that anymore. I think that's it. I have a press and dies for 50 BMG, but I haven't set that up yet because I'm not sure I gotta wet tumble that brass to get it clean. That's a whole nother process. It's too big for the tumbler. So everything 50 BMG related is a whole big process on its own. I fixed you up the day it started. Yes, I can reload 30-06. I can't sell ammunition, man. That's actually a federal thing. I'm not a manufacturer. And honestly, it would be cheaper for you to buy ammunition versus my time. You know, components, by the time you rack up the cost of the components, you're damn near at the same money for just factory ammunition. But then you got to factor in my time. When I'm doing work for myself, I can't really add that time, and I could, but that's not really a factor for me. You start working for somebody else, and now that's definitely a thing. Yeah, and John's right too. You should never shoot anybody else's reloads. Most loaders will tell you that too. If you didn't load it, don't shoot it. But with that being said, it's not out of a normal person's price range to get set up for reloading. You consider even look at the last firearm you purchased, and I'll almost guarantee whatever you paid for your last firearm, you could have been set up in reloading ammo. So next time you go to buy a firearm, think about that. Think about, rather than buying that, maybe skip the gun and buy some dies, a press, and that stuff. It's a lot of ammunition. Did you pick up that shotgun now? Did you figure out if it's threaded for choke tubes? Yeah, the components is what gets you. So like, if I factored in just this brass cost, I mean 100 pieces of brand new brass for 223 is what, 40-50 bucks now, if not a little more. So I have buckets and buckets and buckets of it, so that's definitely a way to lower the cost. That's why I said at the beginning of this, if you guys are shooting, save your brass. You just never know. It might come to a point where you can't buy factory ammunition. There's a lot of states that are trying to ban reloading too. The only purpose they would have to ban people loading ammunition is because they want to outlaw ammunition. Yeah, well, pounds of powder, you used to be able to pick up a pound of just about any kind of powder for $20-$25, and now it's $50. You used to be able to pick up primers, 1,000 small pistol primers for 20 bucks or less, and now they're 90 bucks. Same with rifle primers. Hey, oh, it's you. I'm on a live. I don't care. That's okay for you though, because then you can shoot slugs out of it and buckshot and all that, and not have to worry about choke tubes. Yeah. I know one thing that'll happen if any of you guys do start getting into reloading is going out and doing mag dumps and stuff would quickly become a thing of the past. And when you got to sit there and process your own ammunition, do all the steps for it, spend hours at it, you're not in a big hurry to just dump a magazine. So then you start shooting for accuracy. But the science behind it, learning what your gun likes and what changes you can make and what differences it has can be a lot of fun. So, yeah, Chance, and you'll have fun with that. That opens you up to be able to shoot slugs, buckshot, birdshot, steel, and anything in between. So for your first shotgun, that'll be a good gun for you. What's going on, Yukon? Got my brass sized and deprimed. Just wiping the lube off of them. And I'll prime them. Yeah, shooting shit with shotguns is a lot of fun. A 12 gauge shotgun is probably the most versatile firearm a person could buy. If a person were only going to own one gun, only one, that's it, nothing else, a 12 gauge pump action shotgun is probably the way to go. You can buy caliber conversions and put inserts in to be able to shoot rifle rounds or pistol ammunition. A shotgun will kill anything. I mean, if you want to shoot something big, you shoot slugs. You want to shoot something with 2 legs, you shoot birdshot or buckshot. I think that's definitely a gun that everybody should own, is a nice 12 gauge shotgun. Be it pump, single shot, semi-auto. Two and 3/4 shells. The minis. So they have conversions. I don't know if I have any here, but it goes in your chamber, and then you single load a pistol round, pull the whole thing out, push the cartridge out. But yeah, they make for 45 ACP, 45 long Colt, 357, 22, 410. So for like a survival type thing, if you only had one gun, them are out there. Now you're not going to get like outstanding accuracy with them, but they do exist. I would say probably Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath or them Bolo rounds. But I don't know that I've ever met Skinwalker. I married one of them, what's it called? Succubuses. Just sucks your soul. There you go. Keep her from backing out on you. You know, Chanson, as your collection grows too, you'll probably get to a point where you're like, oh, I'll get rid of this gun. Hang on to it. Because a good pump action shotgun comes in handy for a lot of things. Yeah, I hear you, man. Everybody's in business. If you're in business, you got to make money. It's called business, not charity. Yeah. I think you guys have been married for a long time, know what I'm saying. I gotta say it quietly, because the dragon's upstairs and I'd rather not piss it off. But I guarantee within 5 minutes of me going up there, she'll be mad at me for something. Dalton, I'm good. How are you doing? Since you're new here, I like to share footage of shooting competitions. I like to do the YouTube shorts with the firearm flexing. I'll do gun tables on lives. So I'll fill up a small table with a bunch of stuff. Or I'll come down here and I'll work on ammunition while I sit and chat. Most of the people you see in the comms, if not all of them today, they all have channels, so I would encourage that you check them guys out too. Nope, I don't own a Sam 5. And what did you say when your that next match is for you? Or did you find another one? None of us are creators yet. I don't know at what point a person can say they're actually a creator or an influencer. I don't know. So I generally just go off on my phone. I have a couple cameras, but I don't use them. I'm gonna bet most everybody uses their phone. They actually do a lot of editing now on phones. You can do slow motion, you can do movies, you can do a ton of different things, so. Yep, I edit some of my stuff through CapCut. Patriot, how are you doing? How'd your day go? You still have to go to work, or are you done? Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I am too. I just share what we're doing. Maybe when people start getting paid and they're doing paid promotions and that stuff, maybe at that point you could say you're an influencer. Or I guess maybe that's what I would say at that point. You're an influencer is when you're getting paid to do product reviews. Because obviously at that point then you're influencing people's decisions, right? Side quest. There's nothing wrong with sharing your content. You know, when my kids started shooting, I used that as a way to try and get other people to get their family out and get shooting. A lot of people think their kids are too small, or they're not good enough, or this or that, or themselves aren't good enough. Hey, I need to practice more. Nah, man, go out and shoot. Go find a match, and go shoot it. You'll have the time of your life. Gotta go to your other job now. When do you, Patriot, when do you move in your new place? I think a bunch of us use, who was asking about CapCut? On the 30th. What match is on the 30th? I'm not sure who was asking about CapCut, but a couple guys told me about it, so I've been playing with it a little bit. I'm actually surprised though, some of the shorts I've done with it, minus like the banana short. I thought they would do better, and they haven't. I had a guy, fucking dude, it's another guy got a copyright strike going on. He pirated one of my videos off my channel, but the video for me got a couple hundred views, and he straight stole the video off my channel, and he's got 3.5 million views as of when I filed the copyright claim. So my channel is definitely being suppressed, which is fantastic. You steal a video from somebody, that video on your channel, who you originally created the video and posted it, goes nowhere. And then on somebody else, they get 3.5 million views. What?
I've done all my chores without you asking me to. Do you think I can go over by Callie? Mom's asking.
She already asked me, and I said yes, that was fine.
Oh, you did?
She did, yeah.
Oh,
She asked. I don't care what time you're going to be home.
I have no clue. Probably 8.
How about like 7, since it's a school night? That gives you a couple hours.
Thank you.
Yep.
I did all my chores without you asking to. I'm going to clarify walking Leroy.
Did you take the garbage out, all the recyclables?
Yep. I have to. Oh, I forgot about the recyclables because I'm not always thinking about that one because that one doesn't need to be taken out all the time because it's less empty all the time. So.
Okay.
I'll take that out.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Hopefully June 1st, we got to do some work inside.
I've been trying to remember to do all my chores without you asking.
I know. That's why I said you could go.
Thank you.
Your birthday is June 2nd. That's all right. Oh, the banana one? Yeah. I did that. So I don't know if you saw Utah Dad's banana film. I was going to tag him in it, but I didn't want him to miss, like, think I was being a dick. But he was at a grocery store and they had bananas and he was making a whole big thing out of it. And then I came across that dude eating the banana. And then I came across, I forget where I was, but I saw that P. Diddy thing. And it kind of seemed like it all fit. So I was going to tag him in it, but I'm like, nah, we'll just leave it. Hey, what's up, 223 DMR? How are you doing? Guess I could prime these while I sit here, huh? I think last time I was down here, I was talking about the price of primers. That's the price tag on them. Tell you how old they are. Now they're like 120 bucks for 1,000. So even if like right now you're not into reloading, I'd even recommend starting to buy components, your bullets, your powder, your brass. Them are things that go away during ammo shortages, which sucks because you can't buy factory ammunition or you're getting scalped for it. And then all the components are unobtainable. Yeah. Our economy will get better. At least I believe that. You know, I don't think we're through any of the tough times at all. And knowing that there's going to be some tough times ahead, I voted for Trump because of that. Because what our country's been doing isn't working and hasn't worked for a long, long time. So, good or bad, right or wrong, I would rather deal with some tough times now than pass or continue to pass tough times down to our kids. And we used to have one of the most respected nations in the world, and now it's a laughing stock. Yeah. Powder's not cheap, but if you want to shoot, you got to buy it. Primers is the one thing that gets me. I mean, I don't understand how or why they've went up like they have, other than supply and demand. You know, the companies that sell components are also reloading their own ammunition, so they're almost making it cheaper to buy factory ammunition. In my experience, most gun oil is not a good preservative. I do like rem oil though, aerosol rem oil for preservative. Most gun oil, in my experience, never really does what it's supposed to. That would be what happens when you find a crimp pocket. Has the military crimp on it. It is. Which for most people, that's fine, right? For me, I have all the equipment. I have lots and lots of powder. And I like to tailor rounds to the gun or shooter. My son definitely has loads that he likes. And I have loads that my daughter likes for a pistol. And neither one of them are what you would buy in factory ammunition. And obviously for like 9mm major, there's companies that make it, but like D-Dog found out, even though they say it'll work, it doesn't always work. Your barrel you should clean either before long-term storage or when accuracy starts falling off, to wipe out and re-lube the action depending on how much you're shooting it or how often. Sometimes every time. If you're shooting every weekend, I'd say, every month, month and a half. But one of the worst things you can do to a firearm is sit and scrub on a barrel trying to get it clean. I remember you talking before about depression. That's a hard thing to get through. But I gotta admit, being able to retire would be badass. My plan was to retire when I was 20 years at my job. And up until our last contract, I'd get my full pension. And now they changed it to, you have to be, I think for me, you gotta be 65. You can do early retirement at 60, but age. Are you guys still able to hear me? I had another phone call. All clear. Perfect. I had a phone call earlier and my phone muted while they were trying to call. Are you taking off, Patriot? If so, I'll catch you later, man. Thanks for stopping and hanging out. I appreciate you. Voicemails. So yeah, like I was saying too, Patriot. Well, you're probably taking off, but keep in mind, like I was saying, it's worth saving all your brass. If you got a shotgun, save your hulls. You never know, you might need them someday. Nothing else. Like I said, brass you can take and cash in. So when you go to a range and you leave all your brass lay there, it's costing you money to leave it lay. Pick it up, bring it home, throw it in a 5-gallon bucket. When you get the bucket full, you take it to a salvage yard and cash it in. I haven't looked lately to see what a pound of brass goes for, but it's not exactly cheap. Rifle brass you can only reload a few times. Pistol brass, you can get quite a few reloads out of it. Started throwing them in the wrong bucket. The wrong container. Yeah, primers are actually probably the hardest and most important component to get. You can cast lead bullets and be able to shoot. You can manufacture black powder. But brass and primers are the two hardest things to get a hold of. And I would encourage anybody to, well, maybe I shouldn't say that because then you'll go buy it. But even if you're not reloading now, at some point you will. I would encourage start picking up primers. Also, you casting bullets. Yeah, Ed Red's, that's a fantastic bullet lube. Just drop the bucket. I have one of the Lyman heated case lubers, sizer and case luber. Ed's Red, I have some of that right here. That stuff right there, right? So I agree. Ed's Red is probably one of the best all-around bullet lubes you'll get. You know, they even make, Lee does, they almost look like this auto tool, but it's a little hand squeezer loading tool. I started powder casting bullets a few years ago, so I don't use too much of the bullet lube anymore. But yeah, John's right. When you get your brass, it doesn't matter what caliber it's for. The first thing you do is clean it. And then you usually size it and deprime it and knock the primer out. Sometimes after that process, people, especially if they're wet lubing, they'll re-clean the brass so the primer pockets get clean. Otherwise you can clean them this way too. I got a machine over there that I use, but for what I'm doing with this ammo, I'm not gonna fuck around. This is just straight up 55 grain Plinken ammo. This is just so the kid can go out and run his AR. And me, you know, I'll burn it up too. Oh fuck, there's all kinds of messages. My phone stopped scrolling. I'm sorry if I missed any, guys. I was way back there. I was wondering why all of a sudden I wasn't seeing anybody. A little over 1,000 cases. Shit. 40 cal ammo. Yeah, 40 cal is one of them cartridges that is cheaper to reload. It's expensive in the factory. build a boat. Get a Coast Guard tested. That's an Alaska thing for sure. Not do anything like that here in Wisconsin. Yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing bullet casting, I do cast. I mean, literally behind me, I got buckets and trays. It's a Lee tumble lube bullet. But them I all cast. Them I've been there for a while. That stuff I used liquid Alox to lube. But shortly after I cast them and lubed them, I started powder coating. Alright, Yukon, you be good, man. You have a good day. Thanks for stopping, hanging out. Go to bullets now. I think probably about 15 years ago, and at the time it was the only indoor range in the valley. They were redoing the pistol range inside, and they hadn't been cleaned out in about 30 years. So when I say we, me and my friends, we went in there and we removed all the lead they had, and I cast it all down. And it took me about 6 months. It was that much to do, but I had a pile on my driveway, all lead, which is great, right? But I cast it all down into ingots, and I have probably about three tons worth of lead, all in 1 pound ingots. I shot quite a bit of the lead bullets before my kids started shooting with me, and now I don't really want to expose them to it if I don't have to. So for them, I try to always shoot like a plated bullet at least. But casting's kind of so reloading is a hobby in itself, right? Obviously, firearms is a hobby, shooting's a hobby, reloading's definitely a hobby. And then you get into casting your own bullets, your own projectiles. That's a whole nother hobby. It's fun. You start playing with your alimony and stuff, making the bullets harder or softer. Yeah, get into like they're saying with the powder coating too. That's a whole nother. It's a whole nother hobby. Leroy! Yeah, he's a mouse. I was hearing a dog. I didn't know if it was my dog. Yeah, you should have. It's, you know what, people talk about shit hits the fan and shit. That's the type of stuff that's worth having. Because like I said, you can manufacture black powder on things you find in nature. Primers is a whole nother story, but there's even a way to reprocess primers. And then batteries have lead in them. So every vehicle you see, every motorcycle, riding lawnmowers, all that have lead that can be gathered and processed. Pump up like a lantern. the guy who got me into competition shooting, same guy taught me how to reload. He got me into the bullet casting, and he actually helped me remove all that lead out of the range. It's your first Glock. You know, the Glock 22 is cool because you can do a barrel conversion. You can go from 40 to 9mm. You can also go from 40 to 357 SIG. First Glock I owned was a Glock 22. It was a 40 cal too. Yeah, my Glock was actually recalled. There was a serial number range that had bad heat treating on the frame rails, and the frame rails would shear off. The cool thing is when it sheared off, the slide would cant a little bit, and the gun would go full auto. So it broke one day when we were out shooting, and I burnt up every cartridge for it I had, and then sent it in. But people who say Glocks don't break or don't fail, they do, and that was definitely one of them. They were cool though, because I contacted them, and they sent me a call tag. And within the week, I had the gun at my door, because they're replacing the gun. They don't have to send it to an FFL. So it was shipped right to my house, which was kind of an ass pucker when I saw it, because I came home and I had a UPS package sitting on my door, and it was a full gun. It was my Glock 22. I expected they would replace the internals on the frame, and they didn't. They replaced the whole frame, which was interesting because obviously when you purchase your gun, it goes in the transfer book at your FFL. When I got that new Glock back, it was a different serial number, so my serial number on my barrel and the slide were different from what was on my frame. So I sold that gun. I wish I wouldn't have. I kind of regret that sometimes. I had a lot of rounds through that gun too. That was one that when I first got into Glocks, that was the first Glock I bought, was that 22, and it was because it was had major scoring for USPSA. But 40 cal was expensive, so I bought my Glock 17, and because I had been shooting the Glock 40, which has more recoil, more muzzle flip, when I started shooting the Glock 17, the 9mm, it felt like I was shooting a rimfire, and my times on stages, on strings, went way down because I wasn't fighting the gun at all. It was just easier to shoot fast. So I slowly stopped shooting the 40 cal and just started shooting the 9mm. But I kind of wish I'd hung on to it. It was kind of a cool gun. So. Just left it outside. So, gentlemen, I think I'm out of here. My brass is all primed. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back and we can sit and hang out, and I'll load it. Ended up being like 130 pieces of brass. So took a little time to do it, but you know, it's not that much to it. So all you guys that came and hung out, obviously, I'm sure by now you guys have all commented. Daniel, if you just want a straight up concealed carry gun, I think I'm gonna do a gun table. I'm gonna take my tripod up with me. I'll wait till after supper whenever the wife comes home. But if you're gonna buy the gun for concealed carry, I would say Glock 26. If you want to buy it because you want to spend a lot of time shooting it too, then a Glock 19 would be a better choice. 26 is concealed real nice, but they're hard to be accurate with. 19, obviously it's not going to conceal as nice as a 26, but 1911 will be your next one. So I'm gonna get off here. If you guys want to come back in a few hours, we hang out, stare at guns, right? Typical gun table. If you don't want to come back tomorrow afternoon, I'm gonna come back down here. I'll charge my brass, and then I'll seat some bullets. So hope you guys all have a good night, what's left of it, and hopefully I'll see you later. If not, I'll see all of you next time. Daniel, don't forget to throw a thumbs up and subscribe. Come back in a couple hours and look at a bunch of guns. So with that, gentlemen, I'll catch y'all later.